just got back from Ketocon 2023 in Austin, Texas. It was my very first keto event, in-person keto experience, and I'm never going back. But before we get into all that, I am Lindsey. I share what I eat in a day videos, recipes, and sit-down chats like this every now and again, following my keto-friendly way of life. If those are things that are interesting to you, poke around the channel and consider subscribing. For those of you who have been here for a little bit, I appreciate you spending this time with me, and I want to dig into why I'm never going back to Ketocon, but let me kind of rewind and show you what happened. We arrived on Thursday afternoon, and we were invited to have dinner with the makers of Keto Chow, Chris and Miriam, and they also had some of their team with them, Joe and Rachel from Crazy Ketos, and one of my favorites, Neely from Indigo Neely. We were finally able to meet in person. We all hung out. We had delicious barbecue, and I am honored to call these people my friends. They are genuine, they are humble, and I cannot think of a better way to have spent our time when we first got to Austin. Just a quick note about all of the footage that we took at Ketocon. It was all filmed either on my phone or on our GoPro. The audio quality is subpar. I know that. I have tried to work with it while in my editing software. It's not gonna be great. I appreciate your patience with that, and hopefully you can hear well enough to be able to get the gist of what's going on. What was that?
I'm live from Ketocon 2023.
We're actually not. We're walking to breakfast right now.
I'm live from Ketocon 2023.
Ridiculousness. They are. It's fantastic. It's because Jeff's older. I do know that Keto Chow is on a back kind of a thing where they're like, it's like a set of 4, but they're on the back half of it against a wall. So maybe we should have done the external path. We're leaving. Oh, they got cornered by somebody. I bet you anything they're on the exact opposite side. We'll see how it all goes. Sandy! Hello! Good, how are you? Look, you're on my channel. We just met Sunday.
I got something for you too.
What?
All right, there's
In the wild, we have found the Chris Bear, the Lynette Zog. There is Steve. Oh my goodness! It's Lynette!
With the keto guy.
you guys are cute. You guys tag you. Okay, well now you guys
We're here.
Keto Chow.
Oh
Tell
my
me
gosh,
why.
welcome to the Keto Camp booth. It's so
I've
fun.
never been to Keto Chow, right?
Is this? No, this has got to be just another protein shake, right? Just another one.
Oh no, it is hands down the best. No replacement shake on the market.
Oh, I'm sold.
Come try it.
I'm sold. Let's do it. All right.
Now we have a camera crew.
Cheers.
So this is pistachio.
Yep. Pistachio. I have never tried pistachio.
Pistachio pudding. So you dink it, but you just put it in.
You better dink it. No, not dink.
Dink.
Oh, sorry, your video's crooked.
Wow. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, don't buy pistachio because I'm gonna buy it all. Okay, Renee loves pistachios. Yeah. And we have not tried the pistachio yet, so I'm gonna have to get some for sure.
Oh my gosh.
How many thumbs up? Oh, I gotta give it at least 10 thumbs up. Oh, I give it 10. Oh. T for Neely. It's the Levi scale of carbs. Okay, we've got keto chow core with wagyu beef tallow. Oh, cheers.
We'll be back.
Wow! Why? Why is it so good? Oh my gosh! It tastes like the frosting off a donut.
Like the Dunford chocolate donuts.
Yeah. Like, I used to work in a donut shop in college, and it tastes just like that. Hi.
Stina, I'm a supporter.
Oh, thank you. Hello. Nice to meet you. I love your stuff. Thank
And I'm
you.
so good.
I failed to capture any of the opening ceremony, opening remarks, if you will. However, the very first session on the keynote stage was a panel of 5 people plus a moderator who were discussing how keto or some variant of keto helped them to reclaim their health from chronic disease. They were asked to share some different things that they were using beyond just following a keto-friendly way of life in order to combat those things, and this is what they shared.
Most of what I do, I think, is pretty common. Don't eat out. Make sure you eat the right food, get sufficient sleep. But the 2 that might be a little more unusual, number 1 is hyperbaric oxygen therapy. And the other thing, just to deal with the inflammation that is so common in these chronic diseases we're talking about, is sauna followed by cold.
I have a couple actually. Sauna was ours. I'm a massage therapist, so my office, I am blessed enough to have my whole office, everything that biohacks my health. So if it helps me, I figure it's going to help my patients as well. So I do the sauna, and is that better? There we go. I do the sauna, and the other one I do is my body. I struggle keep making ketones, and Dr. Boz's pucker is just one of those things I have to keep sipping on them. It's not something my body just doesn't keep making ketones easily, so I have to stay very diligent, and sometimes I just have to biohack and help my body. Then my body will kick in eventually, but sometimes it just takes some time to get my body going in the right direction.
If I'm cooking my meals, I feel amazing, but then if I don't have access to those meals when I'm out, that's kind of when I get the temptation to go get something from CVS or go eat the crap in the airport. So I always just try and keep really good quality protein and saturated fat on me at all times. And then also bone broth has been huge for me too. It's something that's gotten a lot more popular the last couple of years. So literally I wake up in the morning and before I have coffee, I just heat up bone broth. I throw a little bit of butter into it, I blend it, and it almost is it's like the prelude to coffee, and it just sits really good in the gut and it'll set you up for an amazing day.
We have to set the stage for healing. If you look at any story of radical remission from late-stage disease, you have to set the stage for healing. That is a parasympathetic nervous system. Americans, we overestimate what we can achieve in a day. First and foremost are our entrepreneurs and our business owners and our thought leaders in this health space. We need to be the ones that are embodying these practices and living it, not just talking about it. So nervous system tone and management. The favorite thing I have to do in the day, which is a go, no-go, is gratitude journaling. I write down 5 things in the morning or I don't do anything else. It doesn't matter if I scribble them on a piece of paper, and it keeps me from ladder climbing to think there's better things in the day. I have everything that I need when I wake up. Everything else is a bonus.
After that panel, we came back to the exhibitors hall, wandered around, and we ran into so many of y'all whose handles I see all the time in comments and on our live chat for Neely and I having our Tuesday coffee chat thing. It was so amazing to be able to put your real human face to your handle that we see so often, and it really blessed me to be able to see y'all and chat with y'all and just connect. That was amazing. Toward the end of the day, there was a breakout session that Neely and I were really excited to go and sit in on, and it was the Carnivore Women's Panel. I tell you what, that room, the energy was electric, and standing room only. We found a little bitty patch of floor between 2 of the sections of chairs to sit down in where we could still see.
Can you do carnivore for optimal hormone and thyroid health without having many carbs?
The short version is I still do carnivore. I fixed my hormones. I got my cycle back about 6 months later by sticking to meat-based. I just fast occasionally instead of twice a week, 48-hour fasts, right? I do them once or twice a month. And I still do, I don't exercise.
guys, let's be honest with that.
But, I should do that. But and I also had to gain some weight at that point because the weight that I was forcing myself to stay at was not what was good for my hormones. So the personal anecdote is you can do it wrong and you can do it right, and there's just a lot of factors.
I've been low carb keto since 2007 and started my journey to carnivore in about 2012. This was actually right after I had breast implants, and 3 weeks after that surgery, I started to not feel very well. And I blamed everything else except for the implants. And I was not planning to share this part of my story, but speaking of hormones, it is absolutely something that I'm super passionate about. And I want people to know that if you're not getting answers and you have to look deeper, that is definitely something that can be affecting you. So, long story short, throughout the years of my experience with carnivore, I still did not feel well, and I still had some thyroid and hormone issues. And it wasn't until the breast implants came out in 2021 that I really started to see things improve.
During this panel, there was a Q&A session toward the end, and one of the women asked, what about perimenopause? And Dr. Bright had some thoughts about that.
Perimenopause, there's only menopause because we evolved to go into menopause to stop having children so we could live to be 100 years old and have great-grandmothers. And, I don't know, start pottery or something like that. Perimenopause is, there are people complaining, women complaining with perimenopausal issues starting in their 30s now. If you have you have a hormonal imbalance that started probably when you were an adolescent. Perimenopause, I quote a gynecologist in my book who says that perimenopause was invented in order to sell more medication to younger women. HRT for younger women. And that's why I say that. So, if you have premenopausal symptoms, it's not because you're going into menopause, it's because you have adrenal issues. They should be measuring their adrenal function, which they don't.
As fiery and passionate as Dr. Bright was about her stance regarding the perimenopause, there were plenty of women in that room who were a little up in arms. Fortunately, Judy Cho was there to sort of help smooth out some of those bumps to help everybody understand where Dr. Bright was coming from a little bit clearer.
The way that I explained the perimenopause thing, I agree. It's just a natural progression into menopause. If you think about, like, when I was first getting up here, I was like nervous and I felt sweaty. That's like my adrenaline, right, releasing cortisol so that I can stand up here and not faint, right? That happens when you're transitioning from perimenopause to menopause. So those hot flashes are the same exact thing. Your ovaries.
Judy, it happens when you're having a test when you're 15 too.
Yes. Right.
So that's my point, is that our follicle stimulating hormones, they are at their prime in the fetus.
Right. But as you get older, when you're not going to have babies anymore, so your ovaries are no longer creating certain hormones, and they do the handoff, and then you're going through menopause. That handoff, now that you're giving a bigger burden to the adrenals, it's not handling the trade-off as well. And so then all of a sudden, you may not be on a stage, and then you're sweating out of nowhere, where it's a normal human response.
It's a regression of accumulation of the stress we've had since we were adolescents.
Agreed. I'm just trying to explain, because we can say there is no such thing as perimenopause, but I'm sure some of these ladies are, but I'm going through it. Yes, so it's a breakdown of, yes, I totally get it. So it's just, if you think about it, eventually, whether it's your pancreas not producing enough insulin, it's just, eventually, your body keeps the score. Things are going to break down, and it may be in your 30s, 40s, 50s that you start noticing the breakdown. But as you were saying, if you sweat when you're 15, it's the same response.
They don't call it perimenopause.
Yeah, but they don't call it yes. But when you're 40, it's just more people go through it because we've been leaning on it for 40 plus years. And so that's I'm going to be a translator. So you're totally going through the symptoms, but it's how do you fix that? And oftentimes the adrenal imbalances comes down to too much use of cortisol and not enough fat, and not enough protein, and I know we talk about thyroid, but thyroid hormones are also created by mostly iodine and sufficient protein. So you see the same thing, iodine, minerals, protein, protein and fats. And you don't hear anywhere, you need carbs, right? Like there's no thing of carbs. And I think we are just taught incorrectly, but perimenopause, you may be feeling it, it may not be a real thing, but when you're feeling it, it's telling you that you need to right whatever's gone in balance.
Some pretty good size audience.
Good morning. Oh, hello. Fancy seeing y'all here. Nice to meet you, Rowdy. I'm Lindsey. Yeah.
It's a pleasure. We're going to check your body to see if your brain is running a sympathetic program or a parasympathetic. So we're going to see if you're in fight, flight, or freeze, or rest, digest, ease, and flow, and upregulate.
Okay.
This is a vibration device. Hold your hand out for me.
See you here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. So other than those percussion devices that beat you, they put you more in the sympathetic. This allows you to stay in the parasympathetic, which is why we use it with our clients. So allow me to see both your wrists. Bring them all the way up towards me. Put your fingers together and straight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out all the slack. You can probably already see how our right arm is longer. So I'm going to bring your hands together. So see how you're pulled up about an inch right here. So what happens is all the muscles on this side shorten. Let me show you why. Make a fist, thumbs toward your toes. So whenever you turn your hands like this, it takes out right and left side dominance, which is direct correlation. The power of the right hemisphere shows up over here and vice versa. The right hemisphere is our creative side and spirituality side. If we're running from danger, do we need that? Or do we need our analytical side? Yes. So we're actually going to test your brain by doing this. How cool is that?
Okay.
Now push towards me as hard as you can. Now I'm just going to lean in. See how there's no power?
Yeah.
We're trying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you're right. Push towards me as hard as you can. Now I'm going to lean in. I'm literally hitting play on the video. You can see the video right here. All right. Now I'm going to set it down beside you. And you don't have to do anything. And what's crazy and cool about this is we've got clients that will do the reset and recharge. Whenever they wake up in the morning, they'll pull it up, they'll hit play, they'll do their makeup. You don't have to stop doing what you're doing. So, yeah, it's already done. Are you? That was pretty easy, right?
I mean, it was, yeah.
So I'm all about testing. Is that cool if we test it?
Let's test.
All right, so we're gonna test it. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, push as hard as you can. Hard as you can. Let me push. Push. Just push. See how we're locking out?
A little bit, yeah.
Let me push.
Well, my muscles are fatiguing.
So my point is you're strong now. We're not going down.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Before it was like really, like I was pushing back hard and it was not doing things.
So it just makes you feel really good.
Yeah.
Tried before? Bring the body into this state.
That tickles.
Tell me first. All right. Is this one better? We're getting all kinds of tickles up in here.
That one's much better, yeah.
Do this one. We're using the flathead right here, so it doesn't tickle as much. And it actually heats up.
I'm highly ticklish.
I see that. I see that. You're highly ticklish and highly excitable.
I'm very energetic. I got lots of energy.
That's good. That's good.
Is it for any part of your body that must?
You can use any part. You can use it on anything. You can go over your skull, go over bones, your spine. Any questions?
No. I kind of want to walk around and see how I feel for a little bit.
See how you feel.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
We'll talk more later.
Sounds great. Thank you so much. This is Rowdy. We're going to see how it goes.
Because we were over at the Rapid Relief booth right when the opening remarks were happening, we missed out on Joe and Rachel emceeing the very beginning of the day for Saturday. And then we led right into a regenerative farming panel, which I thoroughly enjoyed.
We're just trying to figure out how we can help make people healthier. So what we both found is that cooking our own meals, gravitating towards really good quality proteins, fats, and then the last pivotal piece is connecting with our local farmers and ranchers and choosing to buy from brands that support regenerative. That's been some of the biggest impact that we've had on our own personal health journey. The cool part about this panel is that every single panelist that we have up here have all been guests on our show and have taught us so much about the food system. So we curated some questions that we think that you all will want to know the answers to that will really help you all. So if you want to know where regenerative agriculture is, if you want to know why grass-finished beef is more nutrient-dense than grain-finished beef, how to find a local rancher, we're going to dig into all of that.
Regenerative farming is a style of agriculture that mimics nature. The goal is to mimic healthy ecosystems. Monocrops don't exist in nature. In nature, multiple animal species graze and peck and root at the ground, and multiple plant species compete and also cycle nutrients together. So the systems we've put in place are meant to mimic that to the best of our ability.
Every single time we make a hamburger or we make a steak or we make a roast, there's just like, you feel like you are being a part of something just magical in transforming the way that we do business.
The very next session was on the main stage again, and it was Dr. Mindy Pelz along with Ben Azadi from Keto Camp. They had a lot of really good information. I only caught a few clips, and this is what I got.
Up next, we have Ben Azadi and Dr. Pelz. So Ben is known as a health detective.
You have a really clear path with your nutrition, like you know what to eat and what not to eat by the show by a raise of hands. Yeah, and keep them up for a second. Okay, so look around the room. I feel like that's about 50% of the room, if not less. And we're going to figure out how to use this. One of the things that I have been deeply thinking about lately is how we have overcomplicated not just food, but we have overcomplicated health. And now when we look at how we do food, how we do health, and I'm going to even call out the biohacking movement in general, we have really overcomplicated the way we're approaching this basic principle of our body.
Hi guys, so we're going to try out Keto Brick. We have not done this yet. Joe from Crazy Ketos has highly touted it. There have been a few other reviews that we've had that we're trying to not let color our perspective. We are super jazzed because, you know, it's fat and protein. So
I feel like there's been equal number of pro and against.
Right.
So like we really don't know anything.
That's right. I mean, that's pretty much how we live our lives. We just don't know anything.
We don't know anything. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Nootropic icing.
I'm trying
Brownie.
Oh wow. This definitely tastes like frosting with a little kick of like the pineapple, the pina colada type thing. That is good. Oh man. Oh, I gotta try milk and cookies. Okay, milk and cookies. That one kind of reminds me of the Hershey's cookies and cream without the crunchy parts. That's good. The nootropic icing's a little bit better.
That's my favorite. That one's a Ketocon exclusive. We made that one just for the cookies.
Well, Joe told me that he bought 30 of them as soon as they were released. So that feels like it's a solid win, even though he never tried it before that.
Yeah, that's
came by on day one and tried it. It was like, I did not waste money.
He did not waste his money. What? That is amazing. Don't eat that one. I'm going to buy that one. Okay. I feel like I have to find the tiny pieces because if I eat a big piece of every single one, I eat a big piece of every single one, we don't need to go get lunch. That's true. Let's see, chocolate malts. I just got the peanut butter. This one has crispy bits.
Yeah, it's got like cacao nibs. That's like the Whopper malted milk ball. Yep. That's my favorite one.
I like the crunchy part. Blueberry muffin is definitely breaking it out. Oh gosh, I don't even know. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I definitely get the coffee and the milk with cream. But man, I think nootropic icing and blueberry muffin, like that's key.
But congrats on your journey and just for finding a way to do it all and still be healthy, because that's the challenge, man. I don't, you know, you can be the best chef in the world, but if you're not healthy, what's the point?
Day 3 was emceed by Laura Spath, and she also was the moderator on a carnivore doctors panel. They pretty much opened it up to anybody who had a question, and that's how we spent the entire session. I didn't get but maybe like one clip. It was kind of hard to hear, so forgive me for not being able to get more. There were some interesting things said for sure.
Every one of these panelists is like, we're gonna separate who I am. Like, I'm a normal person, like you guys learning from these brilliant doctors who are going to be here. How many of you have learned and changed and improved your health based on some of the advice that these doctors have provided? You can ask one to somebody specifically or to the panel as a whole.
Right now?
We'll do, I'm going to head over to do intros, so while they're doing their introductions, we will, you can line up and ask those.
Right after that panel was Dr. Barry on the keynote stage, and the whole room was like energized. It was like a current was running through the entire audience.
So let's hear it for Dr. Ken Barry.
All right. How's it going? It's a pleasure to be back with you, and I'm going to try to gird your loins today, because there are powers that be that would love to mislead you and delude you and have you believe lies, because they profit from your lack of knowledge. Is it worth doing? Yes. Are you going to give up? No. I can't thank you guys as deeply as I should. I don't have the words.
Throughout the weekend, we did not spend a ton of time going to all of the different vendors and learning about all of the different products. There was lots of skincare, lots of supplements, and lots of new pieces of tech, specifically the continuous ketone monitor.
Hello. Yeah, just whatever. Yeah. Got it? Ah.
Here comes the
Your platform. Sure. Okay, I just told it yes for Bluetooth. So not yet pair.
Inside the box, we have an alcohol vibe.
Yes.
We have an applicator.
Yes.
Sensor pack.
Yes.
Okay. Want to get me by the sign here?
Fine.
Yeah.
Normally, we at the back of your arm.
Yes.
All right. Cool. And we wait for the alcohol to run
Evaporate.
away. Yeah. This sensor pad is sterilized.
Yes.
Yeah. So we have to open this up.
Yes. Very much like a CGM.
Yeah. And this step is really important. We have to sample this into
Yes.
So you just press this all the way down.
Positive thing.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Great. So our sensor is inside of our applicator.
Yeah, it's safety button.
Smart. I like that.
Yeah, and just relax. Relax. All right. Maybe you can let's put it down here. Relax. Really simple at this place. Maybe you can do it by yourself.
I can.
Yeah. And press this button.
And I can release.
Yeah. Hold on.
Ta-da!
And scan the code. Yeah, on the side of the box. Alright, they have connected.
Huzzah!
After 60 minutes,
Then it will start to register things.
Yeah.
Very cool. So from today until 2 weeks from now, I can monitor.
Monitor your keto
Very
level
cool.
for 14 days.
Yes. I'm not going to eat anything for a little while.
Reading.
And take a reading, and then I'm going to go test some things and see what happens.
That's what we offer.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I got one. Yeah. I don't know all the details.
We spent the entire rest of the afternoon going to different breakout sessions. The first one being a couple of our favorite people, Joe and Rachel from Two Crazy Ketos.
We haven't practiced anything, so if we screw up, it's all my fault. Not only is it my fault, please don't point it out because then I have to sleep outside.
Yes.
Not doctors, nurses, or healthcare. No, we are two ordinary people who both lost over 100 pounds. Rachel's now down to 170 pounds for her top weight. We've maintained that weight loss for over 5 years of the ketogenic lifestyle. In 2018, we decided to start a keto YouTube channel mostly because we got tired of people asking us, how did you lose the weight? And we tell them and then they go, that doesn't work. So we said, we'll make a video, we'll tell them, go watch that, and if you still have questions, then we'll spend some time with you.
And we don't have to face the rejection.
Yes.
Right.
So our community is our pit crew. People think that we do this to inspire other people, little bit of inside knowledge. We don't run a channel to inspire everybody else. The group keeps us going.
Yeah.
Okay. Without our group, I would have quit a million times, and I absolutely would have turned off our channel 3 days ago if somebody didn't send me a letter going, "You've changed my life."
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how many people in the world are able to make an analogy for keto out of NASCAR, but Rachel and Joe did it beautifully. I hope they can share that presentation on their channel sometime in the future so everybody can get that. It was so good. The next session we caught was one all about stem cells and how to encourage your own body to push your own stem cells to places that need healing and repair. It was a talk given by Christian Drapeau. I hope I'm saying his name properly. Fascinating discussion. I didn't catch any of it on camera until the Q&A session where I did get to ask one of my questions.
Is there any application for this in terms of cancer?
The cancer question is a complicated one. I'll try to answer it very quickly, just to make sure we can answer the other question. The confusion comes from the fact that the cell in the middle of a tumor that is really like the cancer cell, they're called cancer stem cells because they proliferate endlessly, and if they move out and they go to another tissue, they can become cancer of that tissue. So they fulfill the property, the characteristics of what is a stem cell. So they were called cancer stem cells. They're not stem cells. They're completely different. A normal stem cells leave the bone marrow, gets into a tissue, proliferate, differentiate. They've done this for your entire life. They're a normal stem cell. But because they behave like it, the whole thing has been amalgamated together. What I'm talking about here will not have any effect on the tumor. In reality, all the plants in the product historically have all been used as anti-cancer plants.
The very last session we went to was from Brian Sanders. He has the Sapien Center in Austin and he created Nose to Tail. He had a discussion on decentralizing our food systems and trying to create little hubs and spokes rather than creating like a top-down pyramid style for us being able to have regenerative food. It was a really good discussion. He has a big documentary, and I think it might be coming out on Netflix if I'm correct, but it's called Food Lies. It was a really good discussion.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Brian Sanders. I am the creator of the Food Lies documentary series that's 6 years in the making. I do a lot of other things along the way. I have a podcast called Peak Human. I now am the Sapien Center, which is an ancestral health and wellness club. And I also have Nose to Tail, which has regenerative meat and regenerative beef tallow body care. So I have a long story of how I got into this health journey. Everyone has their own health journey, and people always ask, oh, how did you get into it? And so instead of me telling you, I will show you with this intro that we spent almost a year making, not full time, but we've made almost every one of these shots that you'll see.
So that was Ketocon 2023. We did buy our own tickets. We paid our own way. There was nothing comped as far as the conference was concerned in that respect. I guess you're wondering though, why I said that I'm never going back to Ketocon. Well, surprise, Ketocon is not Ketocon anymore. It is now officially Hack Your Health by Ketocon. Was that clickbaity? It was totally clickbaity. I'm so sorry. But I hope that you enjoyed seeing Ketocon from my vantage point. I enjoyed every minute of it. I cannot wait to go back to Austin for Hack Your Health by Ketocon next year. I hope it works out with our schedule. We'll see. We shall see. And I hope that I can come to more keto related events in the future. It was a blast. It was exhausting. It was overwhelming and overstimulating, but totally worth it. Now, if you want to see other videos that may not be as long as this one, YouTube thinks that you would absolutely love watching this one right over here. So I will see you in that video.